we will identify the underlying cause. Why do you have PCOS? What's going on? And it's never one thing. It's multifactorial, right? It's diet. What are they eating? It's sleep. How are they sleeping? Are they getting enough quantity and quality of sleep? How much movement do they have? How are they managing their stress? How many environmental toxins are they exposed to every single day? What kind of products are they using in their homes, on their bodies? Are they drinking out of a plastic water bottle every day? Are they eating packaged fast foods, processed foods? So we're identifying the underlying cause. This method of identifying a root cause, it's not like conventional medicine. It's not like a light switch. It's not like you can flip the switch and all of a sudden you're all better and you don't have PCOS anymore. So this type of medicine is not for everybody, but when we do dive in and identify what the problems are, and the person is able to implement our recommendations and slowly over time make changes, their health changes. They get their health back.
Hi, everyone. My name is Anesha, and I'm your host for the Wellness Plus podcast. In today's episode, we're joined by Kerry Jenkins, a passionate physician assistant with over 23 years of experience in dermatology. Kerry has dedicated herself to revolutionizing the treatment of polycystic ovary syndrome through functional medicine. Frustrated by the limited options available to women with PCOS, she created a groundbreaking 12-week online group program aimed at empowering women to reclaim their health naturally, without solely relying on medications. Join us as we explore the intersection of functional medicine, PCOS, and holistic wellness. Hi, Kerry. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Hi there. Thank you so much for having me.
So, can you start by sharing your journey and what led you to help women specifically with PCOS?
Yeah, absolutely. I am a PA, a physician assistant, and I have been practicing dermatology for the last 24 years. So I graduated PA school thinking that I was going to be able to heal the world, right? We all go into medicine hoping that we can make a difference in people who are suffering. And I got into the field of dermatology. It just kind of happened that way. It's not something that I actively sought out. It sought me out, and I felt like that's where I was led to land. And I practiced medical and aesthetic dermatology. I have been practicing for 24 years. And I would say the first 12 years was a complete blur because I had just gotten married. I had two beautiful girls. I was an active mother. I'm a working mom, trying to keep my family straight, trying to keep, work going. So for the first 10 to 12 years, I really just kind of treated everybody the way I was conventionally trained to treat people, right? So I would have people come in with young ladies and women, adult women, that would come in with this nodular cystic acne along their chin, jawline, on their neck. Sometimes they would even be breaking out on their shoulders and back. And I would treat them conventionally the way that I was trained. Here's your oral antibiotic. Here's your topical anti-inflammatory products. We may or may not add in some hormone medication like anti-androgen medication to kind of calm down the hormonal component of it. And I treated these ladies like that year after year after year. And then I kind of started taking a step back and thinking, gosh, there's more to this, because these women would come in not only with the nodulocystic acne, but they would also be growing hair on their upper lip, on their chin, on their jawline, on their bellies. And, we call this hirsutism in the dermatology world, in the medical community. And I would start, when I noticed this, I would ask them about it. Are you having to shave, or are you having to wax, or do you do threading because of hair growth? And all of them would be like, oh my God, how did you know? So I started asking them, digging a little bit deeper, tell me a little bit about your cycles. Are your cycles regular? Are they consistent? Are you having a cycle every 28, 30, 32 days? And the majority of these women and these late teenage girls would be like, no, I'm getting, like 1 month I'll have a cycle in 35 days. And the next month it'll be 40 to 60 days before I get a cycle. And the wheels started turning, and I was thinking, okay, these ladies have PCOS, and they're coming to me for dermatology because of the acne. They're probably going to a waxing center or a laser hair removal center to get their hair on their face, eliminated, because how many young women do you know that enjoy feeling like a man and having to shave their face every day? So I started kind of putting these puzzle pieces together, and I would ask them, listen, when was the last time you saw your GYN or your, nurse practitioner, or whoever it is that you're seeing for your female health? And I would just say, I want you to talk to them about polycystic ovarian syndrome. I want you to just throw the term out there and see if they will work you up for that. And I got more and more discouraged because I would see these women back every 8 to 12 weeks and they'd be like, Kerry, I did what you said. I went and asked my gynecologist about PCOS and they basically just blew me off and said, oh, we just put you on birth control. That's all we need to do is just put you on a pill. And that infuriated me. I was like, that is the most cop-out answer that you could be provided. Like, they're not drawing blood. They're not doing an ultrasound of your ovaries. They're not listening to your concerns and seeing that your self-esteem and your self-confidence and everything is being affected by this, And it made me just realize that there is this need. There are so many women that struggle with these types of symptoms, and a lot of them aren't putting the puzzle pieces together. They're not linking the hirsutism with the acne, with the abdominal weight gain, with the anxiety and depression. A lot of them are developing skin tags under their arms, around their neck. Some of them are developing acanthosis nigricans, which is this velvety, dark patch of skin either under their arms or on the back of their neck. They're going in and they're seeing their doctors and they're having these symptoms and nobody is able to take the time and put it all together and say, hey, let's work you up. Let's see if PCOS could be what's driving this bus. And the more and more I educated women on their cycles and what is normal and what is not normal, and you should be having a cycle every 28 to 32 days consistently. And, some of them would be normal-ish, but the whole hair growth and the acne and the abdominal weight gain and the anxiety and the depression and the hair loss that they have on their scalps, like, it just made me realize that there is so much of a need and there's not a lot of options for these women other than going on an oral birth control pill. So there is a genetic component to it. PCOS can run in families. So I always ask, has anybody in your family ever been diagnosed with PCOS? But essentially, the driving force behind polycystic ovarian syndrome is it's a metabolic condition. So these women are often, they carry a little bit of extra weight around their tummies and their hips. And the hair growth, the hirsutism, and the acne that they're developing is a direct result of them having overactive androgens hormonally. So androgens are our sex hormones like DHEA and testosterone. And women, we have testosterone and we have DHEA. It's not just males that have those androgenic hormones. In women with PCOS, they are cranking out elevated levels of testosterone and the DHEA. So those androgenic hormones are what are driving the facial hair, the acne. And for most women, there's a metabolic for all women that have PCOS, there's this metabolic component that goes along with it that even the gynecologists who are trained on what PCOS is and given the very limited toolbox that they have on how to treat the condition, like, oh, we're just going to give you a birth control pill, that's how we're going to treat you. They're not talking about the metabolic influence that PCOS has. And I'll tell you, it is the leading driver of type 2 diabetes, cardiovascular disease. It's systemic inflammation in the body. And if that is not addressed, that is a runaway train that is going to cause massive problems as a woman matures. And the other thing that is never spoken about is that in the US, PCOS is the number one cause of infertility among females. It is the number one endocrine disrupting mechanism for women who, get into their late 20s, early 30s, they find a partner, they decide they want to start a family, and now all of a sudden they have infertility issues. 90% of the time it's because they have polycystic ovarian syndrome and nobody bothered to identify it and work them up and counsel them on how to mitigate that metabolic process.
Hey guys, I would like to take a moment to introduce you to our app, Yoga Plus. You will have access to an incredible selection of videos led by top instructors in yoga, fitness, nutrition, and so much more. Download our Yoga Plus app available on iOS and Android today.